everyone, my name is Vina, aka Miss WOC Reader, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am coming at you with a quick reading update. So November has been an interesting month. I have spoken a couple of times on this channel about wanting to get back into writing more this year, and it's finally flowing a little bit. Right now I'm only at like 3.7k words, but it's a good start. I didn't start nanoing till last week, and my goal wasn't to write the full novel because I knew I'm a slow writer and I just have a lot going on with working full-time that I'm not able to write except for outside of work hours, and then I'm also trying to do some reading in between. So I did start this new fantasy project. Don't want to give too many details about it yet, but I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I am still reading in between. It's kind of hard to balance writing and reading because you have to either devote more attention to one than the other. So I've been like the days that I've been brainstorming ideas for my writing and doing the research and going in and like revising what I already wrote to make it sound better, I'm kind of not doing as much reading those days. My book of choice right now is Long Division, and this is one that I was actually supposed to read years ago. This is actually my sister's copy. She saved it for me. This is the 2013 edition. She saved it for me so that I could read because she said it's a really good book. Definitely worth the read. She wasn't surprised to hear that it ended up getting re-released. So I would actually be curious to see like what the differences are between this edition and the most recent edition that came out. But I know the audiobook that is out follows this edition. So I have been reading some of this with my eyeballs, but I've also been doing a lot of audiobook listening. I did read a chunk of this pre my vacation and then had an issue with my cell phone, which is how I was listening to it, and it kind of broke, and I really don't like listening to the audiobooks on my computer. So I took like a pause, and then I went on vacation, and then I came back and I wrapped another book, so I was just trying to get back to Long Division. And this one is really trippy. There's a lot of like alternate timelines and moving pieces. Like one minute you'll be in 2013, the next minute you'll be in the 1980s, the next minute you could be in 1964. So I'm trying to like follow along with everything and focus on it. So I've been doing like some flipping back and forth to try and understand, but I really do like the narrative voice. I think City is like just a hilarious character, and it's very realistic, even if it's not like the most polished of voices. But so far I'm really enjoying this one, and I should be done with this probably not today but tomorrow. And then I have goals to start some other book. I'm not sure which one I want to start this week. So I have a couple of options. I either want to do That Self Same Metal, which is by Brittany N. Williams. This is a 2023 fantasy debut. I received this copy from Abrams, and I am super excited about it because it just seems like so different. And this takes place in Shakespearean London. Or I also have Zoe and the Forest of Secrets by Alec Pilgrim, which I have had for a couple of months, and it is a middle grade fantasy that I've been highly anticipating, and I just haven't had time to really sit down and like dive into it. My fantasy tastes have been kind of like going through like ebbs and flows, and I was picking up a lot of fantasy, wasn't really enjoying it. Now I feel like I'm finally easing back into it. I also have The Scourge Between Stars, which is a novella. It is space set, and it's more of like a sci-fi horror story. So this is definitely another option for reading, and like it's really short. So I might actually try and read this week, just depending on how my mood is. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick update with you guys, just to talk about what I've been writing and what I've been reading. It's so interesting because I was like kind of slumpy for most of October, so now I feel like I'm finally getting back into the flow of reading a little bit more. And then I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but 2022 stories overall have been pretty lackluster for me. Not only just debuts, but also some of the offerings from authors I've read in the past and enjoyed. Like, I think a lot of people when writing were really feeling the effects of lockdown and, you know, being like the uncertainty of 2020 and 2021, whereas now it feels like in 2022 we're just a little bit more hopeful. But I feel like it really was hard to focus. I know for myself, I had tried writing 2020, and outside of writing reviews and stuff for the blog, I just was struggling so much to write. So I can't imagine how people who are like depending on it as their income were struggling to write. And I want to give them grace in that aspect, but at the same time, it's like books are more expensive than ever, and I don't want to waste my money on a story that I'm not sure is going to be satisfying. Because so many books, I pick them up and they have good concepts, but the execution is really lacking. Like, there's no fun, it doesn't really seem like there's a purpose. Like, too many times I picked up a book and I felt like the purpose was to just show that Black people can survive racism. Yes, we know we've been doing that for years and years, but give me something else about the character. Give them defining traits. Give them hopes, dreams, goals. I say it over and over again, but that is really something that I look for in stories. Let them exist outside of racism. Let them exist outside of how they react to white characters. Let them exist outside of just serving a purpose to move forward the plot. There's just so many interesting stories out there, but I feel like we get stuck in this rut of moving forward the plot and you don't really get to connect to the characters. I did a little bit of beta reading earlier this year too, which really like opens your eyes because you have to look at the story from a different perspective. So now that I'm writing my own story based on feedback that I got with the previous work, I'm trying to make sure that I have those little details in about like how characters look. I'm trying to make sure not to focus too much on dialogue and have a healthy balance of also showing like movement. And it is a little difficult, but it is a lot of fun. So I just wanted to update you guys on how it was doing. And if you like this video, make sure and hit that like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll check in with you guys soon. Bye now.